Yeah, I have a luxury matchmaking company. It's primarily 50 and older. So my clients are usually divorced or widowed, and it's a
Just put
private
your mic closer.
membership. It's a private membership for singles. So I hand select my clients, and a lot of times you think of matchmaking as a luxury. So that's why when she said bubbles, I wanted to get involved immediately. But my passion really is for, I'd heard of Dress for Success, and I was a single mom at one time, and I know what it's like to get back out in the workforce. So when she invited me to be a part of it, I was pleased. And I also was a former teacher, so I know what that's like to get ready for the classroom. So there's just a lot of great things happening with Bonnie's events, and we had met years ago through some mutual friends, and so I was happy to be a part of it. So I'm gonna give away one of my high-end matchmaking memberships. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to meeting.
And how do you do the matchmaking? Because right now everybody's online,
Right, and
swiping and doing and fishing and.
right. It's
Swiping
all
and fishing.
confidential. I hand select my clients, and I do collaborate with over 900 matchmakers nationally and internationally. So I have clients from all over the world, really, and it's based on profiles, preferences. I do compatibility indicators, so a lot goes into it because we've all probably had that bad relationship where it's not the right fit, and you waste a lot of time and money and energy in the wrong relationship. And internet dating isn't what it used to be. It can be a little misleading. People present the wrong profiles and misleading profiles. So obviously I qualify and screen my clients very well. I do background checks, and
You do it nationally?
I do it nationally.
Do you stay in touch with people that meet through your organization for 2 or 3 years, or after they go, you let them go?
I typically do stay pretty close with my clients. I've got several engaged right now, and I've had numerous marriages over the years. It's really a calling. It's not something you usually just wake up and decide to be a matchmaker, but my birthday's on Valentine's Day, so something for that.
All right, so how'd you go from being, what did you teach?
I taught family and consumer science, used to be called home economics, so food and nutrition. So I cooked with all my students.
There you go.
So yeah, food brings people together, obviously.
So how did you go from that to matchmaking? Because food brings people together.
Actually, I was in matchmaking. I was going through a divorce, and I got asked to be a matchmaker for a big corporate matchmaking, which is very different from a private boutique matchmaker, which is what I do. And I did that for a number of years, and then I decided I wanted to give back. So I went back to school. I have a bachelor's in family science, and I went back to school to get a post-baccalaureate in education. And I went into the school system and started teaching. And then I also realized that maybe I'm not quite cut out for that, but I went back to matchmaking. Yeah, our school system, there's a lot going on in that, especially since COVID. And I did do some substitute teaching recently since COVID. So yeah, anything you can do to help those teachers get back in the classroom, take authority, and be able to go in with a positive attitude and feel good to help those kids is really important.
So let me get this: a matchmaker, which is what you are.
Yes.
So you have a guy or girl, or is it girls only?
I try to keep my membership about 50-50. And I have what I call my VIP clients. So those are I really hand select, and then I have just database members as well. So there's kind of two levels of membership.
But do you personally help the VIPs find what they're looking for?
Yes, yes. And it's based on their preferences. I do personality profiles, compatibility indicators, and they get to review the gal's photo and go through her profile with me. And then I'm the concierge, so I set up the date at a select, nice venue, nice restaurants, and they usually just meet for the first time at the restaurants.
Are you there when they first meet, or you just?
I have delivered clients to other people. One of my clients that are married right now, that got married a couple years ago, I actually took her to the venue. It was like an upscale jazz club, and basically dropped her off, and the rest is history. And now they're married.
It must be amazing to be her. You must know a
I have
gazillion
secrets about everybody in
stories.
Florida. Yeah, I will go to my grave with those
She
secrets.
knows everybody and everything. And you must get, like, a lot of people say, I want to thank you because I married this person, male, female, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It was because of you that you took your time. You must get tons of that.
I,
And
I
then
get cards, I get gifts, I get, yeah, I mean, I've
They named their
changed.
first child after you.
I can see that.
But, and it's not even me. I mean, every day I'm like, okay, Lord, help me put the right match together for these people.
But
Because
do
I'm a
you-
woman of faith, and I think we take these relationships into eternity.
Yes.
And so they're going to be friends forever now,
But I gotta tell you, there are people that just should not pick anything because they're horrible at it. I mean, don't
What do you mean I
disrespect.
shouldn't pick anything?
And they just very bad.
Shouldn't pick a
Wh-
partner?
Why are you dating this person? Everything that you hate in life is in this person because sometimes opposites attract, true?
Yes, they can. They can.
But it's a very bumpy road, true?
Yes, and I do offer coaching to my clients. And as a matter of fact, since COVID, I think I should make it mandatory. Everybody goes through
Absolutely.
the 5 steps of readiness for dating and the
See,
mindset.
that's where Lenore comes in.
To date.
Peanut butter to your jelly. You could even have what's your favorite peanut
Exactly.
butter sandwich? Is it with like marshmallow fluff, jelly, like something simple?
I did,
Toasted?
I did that
Exactly.
once. I did that once. I thought it was cute. I made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich to somebody on a first date, and I didn't realize that she was allergic to peanuts. I mean, I'm just telling you. What happens, sometimes you try to do the right thing, and sometimes it's the wrong thing. But I can
So
only.
much fun.
Is it easier? And this is a question I want to lead up to. Is it easier to match up a guy, or is it easier to match up a girl?
Oh boy, I could get into trouble with that answer.
I know.
Thanks.
Instigator.
Even a yes.
It depends on the person. I take every client's
good.
personality individually, and I
She's
cater
good.
to their needs.
What do you think's easier?
and their wants.
Girls.
Think it's easier to match
Guys
a
are,
girl?
yeah, guys are, I don't understand why women date guys. They're from another planet. Seriously, huh?
Mars and Venus.
There'll be no Ken if there wasn't a Barbie. That's the true statement of that. I tell you that. But guys are tough, man. The guys don't even
Women
know.
are tougher.
No, women, they get confused. But guys are tough.
Oh,
Guy-
Did you hear
Pandora's
the gallery?
box.
Oh, what is that?
Guys are confused. They don't know when it's daytime or nighttime. They think everything is always whatever. So sometimes we're normal and a lot of times we're not. But girls, they get into the thought of it.
A lot
They
of
go,
thought.
too much thought.
See, like on Thursday night when you ask a girl out, she wants one thing, but by Saturday night she's totally changed her mind, and then you got to even see if she wants to get dressed to go out.
No,
The older
no.
we get, the more things
No,
change.
the one I like is when you say, get me a glass of water, and they bring you a glass of water. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm still confused on that one, by the way. Because it's a symbolic gesture. It's that you want to do something for someone. So the guy brings a glass of water. He says, you want a glass of water? That's not what I'm talking
I
about.
think it's
See?
harder to be a guy because you're like in a no-win
Yes,
situation.
absolutely.
I think she's like she should. I
Good, good.
think just sometimes you're.
We got to have a little fun with this.
And over 50, forget.
Oh my
about it.
God.
I think in the 20s it's easier.
I love working with my younger clients.
You
Excuse
have
me.
younger clients.
I do have younger clients. I just matched. I have an engaged couple right now, in their later 20s, and so single, never married, no kids. Because I want to make sure they are in the right relationship while they're young. Because so many of us, or 50%, I guess, are divorced, and I don't want them to ever have to go through that. So I really enjoy working with
Now
younger.
your 50s can't be single, never married, no kids.
Usually if you are, there's something wrong with you, but not necessarily.
By the time in your 50s or older, most people are at some point
Right.
had a relationship. There's probably kids. There may even be grandchildren along the way.
Right.
Does it complicate it?
Wait a
It does. It can complicate it a little bit, but I try not to waste my clients' time. If you're the type of grandparent that is on the go all the time and you travel and you don't see the grandkids a lot, versus someone who's the matriarch of the family and she's with her grandkids 24/7 and
Cooking
babysitting
all
all
the
the time. I take those things in consideration when I'm matching them with the gentleman.
You didn't
Vice
say
versa.
there's something wrong with you. You didn't just say that, did you? I could have sworn I heard you say that.
No.
Oh, okay. Because there's nothing. And some people never want to get married. Some people like the single life. Some people.
No, she said at 50.
No, I heard you say something about there's something wrong with you if you're not married by 50.
And some of my clients don't want to get remarried again. But everyone has to be looking for a long-term committed relationship and/or marriage. Not just casual dating. You can go online and do all that.
You know,
Tinder,
you
Bumble,
could-
swipe left,
You
swipe
can
right.
live the married life and not be married. I mean, that does exist. You accept that if you're gonna.
And I have clients from all walks of life.
A
Committed relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
commitment.
have to want a committed
committed.
monogamous. I do only monogamous committed relationships, heterosexual. And not to say there's anything wrong with the other. I would refer you to another matchmaker because there are all types of matching. But I don't want to confuse my clients, by if someone has other lifestyle choices and so forth. So I just
To each his own, and everybody
yeah, to
has
each
their
his own.
preference.
What
Exactly.
do you think the key is to a successful match?
I think their readiness, they've let go of any baggage or unforgiveness from a previous relationship. Their realistic expectations, you've got to take a look at who you are, and what you have to offer. You can't just ask for, you can't be,
I can't get that superstar.
yeah, it's realistic personality wise and lifestyle wise. You get to ask for what
Realistically,
you
I
have to
can
offer.
beg.
So realistic expectations are important. And I think ultimately it's a positive attitude, going into it, like this is going to be a new adventure and I'm going to be positive and
Do you have
have the right
children?
mindset. I do have children.
What, do you have boys and girls?
I have a combination.
One of each?
I have boy, girl, boy.
Boy, girl, boy. It must be a trip in your house. How old are the kids?
Well, they're grown and gone. But
Okay. But it
there
still
was a
must be a
time when
trip.
I would bring them into the office. I'd bring my daughter in. I'd have her enter profiles after I, signed someone up. And
Really?
yeah, she doesn't want anything to do with matchmaking.
It
She went
must-
into the military and
You're a movie. This is a movie. In front
are
of me,
you
I've
gonna-
seen a movie here.
How is she working with the event, Bonnie?
One of my sponsors.
You're a sponsor.
One of
Are
my
you gonna be
sponsors.
doing profiling at that night?
not that night, but
It could be fun.
I have a little bingo game where people can get to know each other and get to know themselves. And some other little gifts to give out, little mints that you would take with you on a date. And then I'll have them enter to win a membership, and I may give away too.
kind of
And I think I'd like to give a teacher a membership as well.
We'd love to have that.
So-
Thank you.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of
Yes.
I
fun.
know you're gonna have like 3 tables and do speed dating.
Well, if we get enough guys to come, we could do a speed dating. I have a whole
What I tell you
platform
about
for
these
that.
guys? What I tell you about these guys? Yo, guys are like, I'm gonna tell you.
Now that they know where the women are going to be that night, maybe the guys will show up.
Give me an address. What's the address?
3311 North Ocean Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, between the bus stop and the barber shop, 2 blocks north of Oakland Park Boulevard on A1A.
I gotta tell you, guy goes in there, he's single. Let's start there because I don't want to get in trouble. And he sees the person getting dialed up. Go over to the man over there, and she's getting pretty,
Botox?
getting all prettied up. I'm gonna tell you something. You see the counselor right here says, I want to meet her. A lot of people don't know how to meet people. I gotta tell you,
What do
that's
you
a
do? That's
book.
where you come in.
I go to dinner with my son when he was single. He's married now with 2 kids, but when he was single, and every restaurant in Florida knew, come here, my son just came from Boston, which happened like 6 years ago. He doesn't know the town, would you go out on a date with him? He used to say, Dad, stop doing that, until it started to work.
Yes.
And he started that because they don't know how to meet people. They don't know how to talk to people. But if they go to you and says, hey, I want to meet that chickadiki over there, and he doesn't know how to approach her, which I think is a common problem.
I have gone out with my clients as their wing person.
Wow.
She's a wing person.
But also, I would like to address the fact that, of course, we want married ladies to attend the event, but maybe they have a sister or a mother that they could, enter to win,
Yeah.
So there's that too.
Friends, yes.
Sounds like a whole lot of fun.
And today's generation, a lot of they're not getting married at, we were married under 30. They're waiting to after 40 now to get married. So when you say 50, because I have 2 daughters, and one of them is 32 and she's still not married because she's in an environment where it's so hard to find and date. So
And my younger clients, they typically do want to, at some point, get married and start a family and have kids.
Yes, she
But a
does.
lot of them have thrown themselves into their careers, and then they find themselves in their early 30s or mid 30s. And that's the beauty of it, is the guys get serious at that age too. And that's when they're really ready to, meet the one and start a family. So I do enjoy
but she
that.
lives in Atlanta. I'm going to throw her name in the box.
I've got some matchmakers. I have colleagues in Atlanta that I can work with that you can definitely find her someone.
Longevity. The older, in my opinion, the older they are, the more the longevity exists because you have developed things that you want and you understand an apple is an apple, not an orange. And if you know these things and you communicate with your significant other, it will work. So more power to your daughter at 32. There's
Thank
nothing
you.
wrong with that at all.
I've got 2 women coming in next week, and they're both widows. And they're putting a show together about what it's like and all the questions that are being asked. And I would bet you would be a resource for their show.
Absolutely, sure. I'd be
Because,
happy to talk.
and they're young widows. She said, and people find them. The amazing thing is when you put things out into the universe, not even meaning to, you attract it. So they said, we don't know how all these people have found us, and they're longing resources, but they have. She said, from women and men in their 20s, all the way up, are looking for what it's like to get back out into the world, and what it's like to be living the single life and raising kids, and back into the dating world, and who wants to get back into a relationship.
It's true
We're
because
meeting with them next
in
week.
the country clubs, I live in a country club, and it's 80% widows. And they're up in age, it's 50s, 60s, 70s, they're up in age, but there's a lot of widows in there. And it's just a phenomenon what happens when widows
Getting
get together.
remarried in your 50s, I don't say 50s, but 60s, 70s, when there's ex-spouses and kids and in-laws and grandchildren, and then you've got this whole estate and who's going to get the monies, and then it gets all kind of funky because
Unless you don't have no money, then it ain't
I'm a
funky at all.
believer in prenuptials. There's
are, you're
nothing-
not?
Of course. I do believe in prenuptials.
Oh, okay.
Because your stuff's going to go to your kids and his stuff's going to go to his kids. So
we
yeah.
hear it all here. You're the keeper of the secrets.
So do you encourage that?
I do. Yeah. Unless they're a younger couple, but 50 and over, sure.